Welcome to Thyroid School. I'm really glad you're here. I'm Kylie, and I founded Thyroid School in 2015. I started it because I went to college to become a naturopath, clinical nutritionist, and herbalist to help my own thyroid disease at the age of 40. My husband said to me, "Nobody's as interested in your health as you are. Go study it." So I did. The first iteration of my business was Make Healthy Simple. But by the time I'd finished studying, I had understood finally that I wasn't alone in thyroid disease, that there were so many people. In fact, my very first student clinic that I got to view a more advanced student taking a client, that day that I was in student clinic for the first time, there were 16 clients, 11 of them had thyroid disease. That was when I went, oh, it's not just me. Thyroid School was born. It was born out of a mission of helping other thyroid, predominantly women, although men have come my way over the years, to get information and to understand what's going on in their body and gain back control. I have sold products. I have talked at expos. I have written books. I've done all kinds of things under this platform. It was when I was at expos and people would come up to my booth and talk to me about thyroid disease that I realized I was saying the same things over and over and over again. And that turned out to be the thyroid pathway. Now, the thyroid pathway in medical terms is actually called a negative feedback loop. And it is how the thyroid makes hormone and travels through the body, gets converted, and then goes into our cells. I realized that's what I was talking about every time somebody came up to my booth. Then I put it all together and I call it the thyroid pathway. And it's why I feel like thyroid disease has become epidemic in our world. Not knowing your thyroid pathway means that you are working on one particular thing. And that's how medicine works, right? A pill for every ill. So we kind of work on individual things. And if that causes a problem somewhere else, then we go work on that later. And that's a doctor's job. If you're coming in with a particular symptom for a particular thing, their job in that 7 minutes that they have, remember they're a business too and they've got bosses. And so in that time that they have, they've got to help you with that particular problem. If helping that particular problem causes another problem, then they'll deal with that when you come back for that problem. It's not their fault. It's the way our system works. My mission is to help you understand that unless your whole pathway is working correctly, it doesn't matter what issues you've got going on, your thyroid is not going to get better. So I think this is why in our world we have such an epidemic of thyroid disease, is because everybody's working on one thing. Whether or not that's, oh, I've got low T3, let's take more T3 instead of working on why you've got low T3. And if you work on the thyroid pathway and understand the thyroid pathway, it will become really evident, and we will begin to understand, which we've lost sight of, that our body works as a whole. Our body works all together. It doesn't work in part. It all goes together. So I'm not sure why we treat thyroid disease individually in individual sections, but that's only just something I've figured out as time goes by. If you've got thyroid disease, you have a genetic weakness in your thyroid. So whatever disease people have, that's where their genetic weakness lies. If somebody has several issues and they are autoimmune issues, then the immune system is the genetic weakness. Okay, so once we understand this about ourselves, that this is our genetic weakness, then it makes it much easier to figure out how to gain control and not to trigger our thyroid in any way, shape, or form. When you have a genetic weakness, if you are triggered by any stress, inflammation, toxin, bacteria, whatever it is, then whatever your genetic weakness is in your body, that's the one that's going to get the brunt of the problems. That's the one that's going to show up and say, oh, didn't like that. So we need to understand that first and foremost. Our thyroid is our genetic weakness. There might be others, there might be more than one, but from a thyroid perspective, that's what we need to know. That's why on Thyroid School, we don't talk about just one form of thyroid disease. I personally have Hashimoto's, which is what led me to study this. But I look at all forms of thyroid disease so that I'm aware when my body is exhibiting symptoms of hyperthyroidism or nodules or goiter or anything like that. I know, oh, hang on a sec, that's not hypothyroidism. That's not normal. Okay. If you don't know all forms, it's dangerous to just look at your form of thyroid disease. You need to know all of them because that's your genetic weakness and it could turn into anything at any given time. On this channel, we will be talking about not only all forms of thyroid disease, but also all forms of modalities and healing principles and practices and diets and anything you can think of, anything that might be a piece in the puzzle for you, we will talk about it because everybody is unique. There are basic best practices on thyroid disease. Don't eat gluten, don't eat lactose, that kind of thing. However, it's really important for you to know for you what things trigger you, what things cause worse symptoms, what things cause better symptoms. And your diet, maybe you might thrive on a plant-based diet. You might thrive on a carnivore diet. You might thrive on anything in between that. So it's really important to be open-minded as to what is going to work for you. Science is going at a rapid pace, more rapidly than we can keep up. So the thing that we've got to do as thyroid patients and people with thyroid problems, we need to be open-minded and flexible to changing our belief system as to what works for us. So on this channel, you can expect all kinds of modalities, all kinds of healing practices, all kinds of mind, body, and soul ways of helping you in your thyroid life. Because it's not just about the food we eat, it's about what we're thinking, it's about what we're feeling. So you will find all kinds of things here. Some will be short, some will be long. There will be interviews if you are happy to be interviewed and tell your thyroid story so other people might be able to put puzzle pieces together. Please email me. We will have interviews from experts who don't necessarily have thyroid disease themselves, but study different things that may be of help to you. I want to have all kinds of information, none of which will be biased by me. My journey is very different to what your journey is going to be. It's really important that you put aside what other people think is the answer and pull apart what your body needs right now and going into the future. I have always believed I could reverse my thyroid disease. I reversed the antibodies many years ago in college. I still need medication. Will I ever be able to reverse that need for medication? Who knows? But we'll find out together. Welcome to Thyroid School, and I really hope that you find some of the answers that you are looking for on this platform.